Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most infamous true crime cases in American history. This is the story of Aileen Wuornos, a woman who became known as one of the most terrifying female serial killers the world has ever seen. Between 1989 and 1990, Aileen brutally murdered 7 men in Florida, leaving behind a trail of fear, controversy, and endless debate. Now, before we get into the details, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the darkest true crime stories. And trust me, this is one you're going to want to watch until the very end. So, who was Aileen Wuornos? Was she a cold-blooded killer, or was she, as she claimed, a woman pushed to the edge by years of abuse, neglect, and trauma? Let's go back to where it all began. Aileen was born in Michigan in 1956. Her childhood was anything but normal. She never met her father, a man who was convicted of sex crimes against children and later died in prison. Her mother abandoned her at a young age, leaving Aileen and her brother to be raised by their grandparents. But even that home wasn't safe. She faced abuse, rejection, and a life filled with pain. By the time she was a teenager, Aileen was already trading sex for food, cigarettes, and shelter. Homeless, alone, and desperate, she started drifting through life, hitchhiking, and turning to prostitution as her only way of survival. Fast forward to 1989, and this is where the story takes its darkest turn. Over the course of just 1 year, Aileen Wuornos murdered 7 men. She would later claim that each killing was an act of self-defense, that these men had tried to assault or harm her. But prosecutors painted a very different picture, that she was a ruthless killer who lured men in and executed them for money. Each victim was shot with a gun, their bodies discovered abandoned on Florida highways. Police eventually connected the crimes through ballistic evidence, and all trails led back to Aileen. But here's where things get complicated. When Aileen was finally arrested in 1991, she didn't hold back. She confessed to the murders, but her story kept changing. Sometimes she insisted it was self-defense. Other times, she admitted it was cold-blooded murder. And the media? They couldn't get enough of her. She was labeled America's first female serial killer, and her face was plastered all over newspapers and TV screens. What made Aileen's case so unique was not just the murders, but the way society reacted to her. Some saw her as pure evil, a monster who killed without remorse. Others saw her as a victim of lifelong abuse who finally snapped. She became a figure that blurred the line between victim and villain. Her trial was sensational, with every detail broadcasted to the public. And in 1992, she was sentenced to death. After a decade on death row, Aileen Wuornos was executed by lethal injection in October 2002. Her final words? Chilling. She said, "I'll be back, like Independence Day with Jesus, June 6th. Like the movie, big mothership and all. I'll be back." Her story has since been turned into documentaries, books, and even the Oscar-winning movie Monster, starring Charlize Theron. But no matter how you look at it, Aileen Wuornos remains one of the most disturbing and controversial figures in criminal history. So here's the big question. Was Aileen Wuornos truly a victim of her circumstances, or was she always destined to become a killer? Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who loves true crime. And remember, there are always more stories lurking in the shadows, waiting for us to uncover them. Stay tuned.